Hey, Stewart's Chapel, this is Don Pierson, and this is Monday's devotion, and we're sitting on my shed's porch. We're in Psalms 95, verse 7. Psalms 95, verse 7. Oh, come, let us worship and bow down. Let us kneel before the Lord our Maker. For he is our God, and we are the people of his pasture, and the sheep of his hand. Today, if you will hear his voice, do not harden your heart as in the rebellion, as in the day of trial in the wilderness. When your fathers tested me, they tried me, though they saw my work. For 40 years I was grieved with that generation and said, it is a people who go astray in their hearts, and they do not know my ways. So I swore in my wrath, they shall not enter my rest. There's several parts of this passage that catch my attention. The fact that our God is our God. He's our shepherd, and we're the people of his pasture and the sheep of his hand. And then he says this thing, today if you will hear my voice, do not harden me. On this farm, I've raised many llamas, approximately about 300 through the years. Now, I don't have any llamas anymore. With llamas, you had to shear them once a year and trim their toes about the same time and give them their shots. For most of the time, most of my llamas wasn't a big deal. But I had one llama. The name of the llama was Cha-Ching. Now you can figure out why. She was an Appaloosa llama, and her wool was thick fiber, thick wool. And she was the most expensive llama of all the llamas I had. Very valuable llama. She always threw Appaloosa llamas, babies, or crias is what they're called. She was a valuable llama. But boy, she had attitude. She didn't like me, and I didn't like her. If she saw me in the pasture, she'd go the other way. Well, that's not true. Rarely would she move. She would stand her ground. She was as stubborn and rebellious as could be, and she could spit. Now, you've heard about llamas spitting. The truth is, llamas don't really want to spit because it messes up their whole mouth and everything like that, and it's a long time before they can eat again. So they don't really like to spit. But Cha-Ching, she spit. Most of them wouldn't do it. You had to get them really agitated. But it didn't take much to get Cha-Ching agitated. Now, when she spit, I'm not talking about a little spot, no. Whole body cover. I mean, of the nastiest, smellingest stuff that you can think of. And she was very accurate. She could be a long ways and she could still hit you. And so, be honest with you, I hated shearing her. Shearing her was a problem. I literally would have to put a feed sack over her head so that she would be in darkness so that she would calm down for me to shear her. You say, well, why did I even bother? Well, one, she was expensive. The other thing is they would get heat stroke. They can't handle, they're cold weather animals. They're not made for Tennessee. And so if you don't shear them, they'll get heat stroke. So you need to take some of that insulation off, take their coat off for the summer. But the older she got, the worse she got, which meant the more I got as time went on. And I finally decided that I had had enough of Cha-Ching. And so I sold Cha-Ching. And my life got a lot better when Cha-Ching wasn't around. I've had other animals like that. I had a bull that was gentle and kind forever. And then one day, that bull decided that it did not want to stay with my cows and heifers anymore. It wanted a neighbor's cows. And I mean, literally, it didn't matter what kind of fence was in its way. It would just barge through. Barbed wire, whatever, wooden, woven, it was gone. One day, I kept chasing it and bringing it back. And then one day, it went through 7 fences of mine and my neighbors to get to a group of cows. 7 fences. I caught him, and guess where he went? He was sold. I had a dog. Somebody dumped a German Shepherd off here. We're out in the middle of the country, and so dumping dogs and cats seem to be a people's thing. I think I have a sign out there that somebody put that I can't find that says, if you don't want your dog or cat, dump it here. Well, there's no sign, but I think people think it's there. Well, somebody dumped this German Shepherd. It was about 6-7 months old. It was kind of a pup, a beautiful dog. I thought, well, I'll just keep it. So, well, that didn't last long. The very next day, a lot of my ducks and chickens were killed. It was a chicken, duck killing dog. Well, what do you think happened to it? I got rid of it. I got rid of my llama. I got rid of my bull. I got rid of my dog. That's just what you do when you have something that's rebellious and will not be tamed. Basically, that's what God says. You will be the sheep of my pasture if today you will hear my voice, and do not harden your heart as in the rebellion. He talks about the people of Israel in the wilderness, how they grieved him, grievously grieved him, and he decided that they would not enter in his rest. Well, he's speaking to another generation and saying, are you going to be like your grandpas, your great-grandpa? Are you going to be like them? Am I going to just have to say, you're not going to find my rest? Don't be like cha-ching. Hear God's voice today and submit to it. It'll be better for you. Don't grieve the Lord. It'll never go well. Love you, Stewart's Chapel.